Coming up on Alta News this morning, a Kentucky mother continues to look for answers 22 years after her son was killed in an apparent hit and run. And a precious item is returned to a Kentucky Special Olympian after it was lost during a tornado outbreak that tore through the western part of the Commonwealth.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
It's almost 6:33. I'm Dakota Makris. It's Wednesday, and it's technically my Friday for the news, at least. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at that forecast this morning. Brandon, I'm already looking forward not to have to set my alarm at 3 a.m. tomorrow.
I understand.
So, Chas Gayhart, if you are watching, make sure you set your alarm.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So we'll have Chas tomorrow on Friday.
Yep.
Dakota will be back with us on Monday. But for the rest of you, we're going to be heading into Derby weekend, and it could be a bit of a soggy one for some. Let's take a look at the next couple of days, the next couple of hours first, and you'll see here in Hazard, skies are trying to clear out just a little bit from the view from the WYMT studios here in town. A little bit of overcast, and temperatures a little bit on the cooler side at 46 this morning, 41 in Logan, 51 in Monticello, mid to upper 40s across much of the region. A little cooler in parts of far eastern Kentucky where they've had a little bit of rain this morning, like Prestonsburg and Pikeville, both at 44. Logan is at 41, as we mentioned. Wise at 43, but everybody else, even in Southwest Virginia, is in the mid to upper 40s there, 45. Moorhead and Ashland, next coldest spots. A little bit of a breeze, but you can see it's pushing kind of west, northwest, trying to bring those temperatures down a little bit, stabilize and push this system out of here. So it's going to get a little bit chilly before it gets warmer, but what is the forecast today for 400? What is straight chances for rain early, giving way to clearing skies and temperatures topping out in the upper 50s a little bit later on. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. An Eastern Kentucky mother is still looking for answers more than 2 decades after her son was killed in an apparent hit and run. Moorhead police say Gary Lee Atkins Jr. was hit 22 years ago while walking on West Main Street in Moorhead. Mariah Congito sat down with his mother, who says she fears she'll never have those answers.
Gary's mother, Teresa Colson, tells me as far as she knows, he didn't have any enemies. She says he was a happy-go-lucky guy who was always trying to brighten people's days. She says it's hard to fathom that 22 years have gone by and nobody has come forward with information about his death.
You're not supposed to bury your son. You're not supposed to bury your children.
In her home in Sadieville, Teresa Colson lays out pictures of her son, Gary Lee Atkins Jr., on the kitchen table.
The day he married Sarah, June the 19th of 99.
Colson says Gary's wife at the time says that on May 1st, 2001, Gary got up and went for a walk. That was around 6 a.m. Colson says soon after, a woman driving along West Main Street saw him lying on the steps of a church, seriously hurt, and called 911.
His right shoulder was broke, his left hip was broke, but the back of his skull, was crushed.
Moorhead police say he was hit and killed by an unknown vehicle. However, Colson says she's not sure if this is what truly happened to her son.
Was he beaten with a baseball bat? And how was he found on the church steps? That part I don't understand.
Colson also says Gary's shirt, shoes, and hat were found on the side of the church building.
Somebody knows something. They have to know something.
Gary, Colson says, was always looking to make people smile.
If he seen that you were down, he would cock his left lip up and look like Elvis and just make you bust out laughing.
And not long before his death, his son was born.
I would tell him I loved him and I miss him, and his brother misses him, his papa misses him, his son misses him, everybody misses him.
Just last week, Colson says Moorhead police called her to tell her they're putting out a new call for answers. She says she hopes this time might just be the time someone steps up.
I just wish that someone would tell me what happened to my baby.
The Moorhead Police Department is asking anyone with information about what happened to Gary Lee Atkins Jr. to give them a call. You can remain anonymous. We have the number to call on our website, WKYT.com.
Well, over in Powell County, the Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in finding the driver of a motorcycle involved in a recent chase. It happened on Monday on the Mountain Parkway. Deputies say the bike, a Yamaha MT-10, was found wrecked and left near an exit. Well, police think the bike could have been stolen. We were told the driver is a man and was last seen in a dark colored jacket and wearing a backpack. If you have any information about where the driver may be, you can call the Powell County Sheriff's Office at dispatch rather, and it's non-emergency line at 606-663-4116. Well, now that the weather is warming up, more motorcycle riders will be on the roads across eastern Kentucky. Yesterday, the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety released a statement about motorcycle safety as a means to raise awareness. Officials say last year there were more than 1,500 crashes involving motorcycles in the Commonwealth. Those resulted in more than 1,000 injuries and 99 motorcycle-related deaths. Perry County Coroner Wayne Bowling is encouraging Kentuckians to always be careful around motorcycles.
People really need to be aware of them on the roadways. They have less leadway of stopping a motorcycle and such versus a vehicle.
He says during his time working at his funeral home, he has seen more than 12 motorcycle-related deaths, and he hopes not to see any more. A Special Olympian lost something precious to her in the 2021 tornadoes that tore through western Kentucky, and now she has it back. Derek Parham explains how the point guard for the 2007 World Champion Special Olympics basketball team got her medal back.
Like many families in December of 2021, the Williams family's home was decimated by the tornadoes.
And then it hit, we were asleep, and luckily we were alive. House just flat, nothing left. I mean, brick and everything.
Jim Williams says that it took first responders over 30 minutes to dig the family out of the rubble. Once everybody was cleared, the search for Natalie's medal and the rest of the family's belongings began.
We tried to look for it. We went yard by yard, trying everywhere around the neighborhood, but we could not find it anywhere. So we decided to see if we could have a replacement medal to be able to remember friends that I love and care about.
The search for a new medal began with a chance meeting.
Jim came to me, we go to church together, and said, you know, Natalie lost her gold medal.
And the year-long search began.
And we thought we were going to have this done pretty quickly because I thought for sure they have extra medals. Turned out they don't.
Through luck and a series of connections, an original medal from the 2007 games in Shanghai was found.
And they literally chased down their old office in Shanghai where they ran it, and there was one in a drawer. So they're the only medal out there that we know that this could be the last medal out there from the Shanghai 2007.
Natalie says that she feels lucky to have the award back after all of her hard work in preparing for the games.
I train really every single day, lifting weights, jogging, basketball courts, every single day, 24/7 almost, to build muscle up, to build the strength up in my legs, stay on the court 24/7 with my teammates, and to win the gold medal like we have had.
Now that she's got her gold medal, Williams plans to frame it and keep it in a safe place to look back on her experience with her friends.
That was Derek Parham reporting. And speaking of celebrations, a Kentucky woman celebrated a milestone birthday with friends, family, and the mayor of Williamstown in northern Kentucky on Monday. Beulah Willoughby turned 100 years old, and as a gift, Mayor Mark Christopher gave her a key to the city. Governor Andy Beshear also reached out to Willoughby and wrote a heartfelt letter to her. Willoughby says she feels famous after receiving a key to the city of Williamstown and a letter from the governor. She's married and she has 2 kids. Well, here in our region, more than 100 women gathered in Paintsville yesterday to celebrate and mingle with fellow business leaders and entrepreneurs. Jordan Mullins has more from this year's Big Sandy Women's Business Symposium and how it gave business leaders opportunities for growth.
The Kentucky Small Business Development Center held the 24th annual Big Sandy Women's Business Symposium at the Ramada Inn in Paintsville on Tuesday.
This is an event where we celebrate women and their leadership and their roles in business.
The event featured keynote speakers and breakout sessions focused on helping along small businesses and giving entrepreneurs new opportunities.
This day and time, it's wonderful that women have opportunities to become entrepreneurs and do what they love and they want to do.
Along with setting a time just to get together, meet, and network with fellow business leaders and owners.
This is a networking opportunity to see what small businesses offer and just kind of get rejuvenated, I guess you could say.
Women supporting women.
I love to be able to support women, and that's one of the reasons why we even got into this business. We thought it would be a great avenue to meet women and give women a feel good about themselves and make them as beautiful as they possibly could be.
Growing together on the path to success. In Paintsville, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
East Kentucky Small Business Development Center Director Michelle Spriggs says this week is also National Small Business Week, and this event was a perfect opportunity to celebrate the women involved in economic growth across the region.
Coming up on 6:43, we're still tracking a few light showers out there this morning on Live Pinpoint Doppler radar. And we're going to zoom into a section over here in far eastern Kentucky. So if you're basically right here along the Magoffin-Floyd border, south of Prestonsburg, north of Wayland there on 80, the Floyd-Pike border over there, basically going from 80 over toward 119 there at Pikeville, going up 119 into northern parts of Pike County. Meta over toward Belfry and Williamson, you're seeing some pretty good showers move through there. If you're in southern Pike County and parts of Mingo and Logan counties, also Dickinson County, Buchanan County, Virginia, also seeing some decent rain this morning. So just be careful out there. Take your time getting around. 41 in Logan, 51 in Monticello. That's kind of a range this morning. A lot of mid to upper 40s, but you see spots where they're seeing a little bit of rain like Pikeville into those 40s there this morning, low 40s, 43 Pikeville and in Wise to start your day. Speaking of starting your day, all these clouds are going to clear out along with the rain chances. Weak disturbance still passing through this morning. It's actually a cold front, but once that low gets far enough away, it takes the rain with it. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. Still to come here on Mountain News this morning, the Pentagon is set to implement a law requiring services for our troops to help them with any mental health issues they might be dealing with. Stay with us.